It's time for my way too early predictions for CDL Major 3. I did this video for Major 2, and let's just say it did not go to plan. Just a quick look back at what I did for Major 2. I mean, I had the top 4 as a top 4, but the rest of my stuff didn't really hit. You kind of look at the bracket very basically here. I know this might be difficult to read. I had predicted an Ultra Optic final with Ultra winning it. So, I mean, I guess I had Optic in the grand final, but it wasn't my best prediction. But now let's talk about my early Major 3 predictions. And if you like this type of CDO content, make sure you sub to the channel. We're on the road to 5K subs. But let's kick it off with the seeding heading into Major 3. So my team's 12 through 1. At the 12th seed, I have the Seattle Surge going 0-7 online. The odds of them winning a series, honestly, I feel like they probably do, but they seem to have a pretty difficult schedule, and I really don't know what to expect from this team, so I have them going 6-22 in map count, and then just above them at number 11 at 1-6 on the split, I have the Minnesota Rocker with an 8-20 map count, so slightly better than that of the Seattle Surge. This Minnesota Rocker team, I feel like is one that's either going to really surprise us or is going to kind of go as a lot of people are expecting, which isn't really too well now that they've added Gunless and Standy. Then at number 10, I do have the Miami Heretics going 1-6 as well, but they're going to have an 11-20 map count. So a few more map wins than the Minnesota Rocker, but still going 1-6 and getting them losers bracket. Miami's only made one change. That was bringing in Real. I don't really know how I feel about this team, right? We haven't really seen them perform too well. They've only made a one-man change, so it's kind of hard to predict them to win a lot of series. Then at the number 9 seed, the last team in losers bracket is going to be the LA Gorillas going 2-5 with an 11-18 map count. The Gorillas are Lanimals, but they aren't really too good online, and obviously they have not made a roster change, so I feel like in terms of the online portion, we can almost expect a similar result as we saw last split. But now to get into our top 8, these are my teams I'd have in winners bracket. At number 8, I got the Boston Breach, also going 2-5 like the LA Gorillas, but a better map win count at 14-19. At number 7, I have the Carolina Royal Ravens going 3-4 with a 15-16 map count. I actually think Ravens are going to be pretty good online this split. They're getting into some sort of facility together, kind of getting to emulate that LAN environment a little bit, which we've seen them be kind of successful on, obviously getting top 6 at the last major. I think they're going to have more success online this stage. Then the number 6 seed, I have the Las Vegas Legion, also going 3-4 at a 15-15 map count, so one less loss than the Carolina Royal Ravens, which gives them that extra bump to the 6th seed. And then here's where it gets interesting, right? The odds of what I'm about to say happening is very, very slim, but based on the schedules we saw, I do think it's possible, and that's why I'm going for a bold prediction here. I think seeds 1 through 5 all end with a 6-1 record. Now, I know that does sound kind of crazy, but let me explain. At number 5, I have the LA Thieves going 6-1 with a 19-12 map count. Number 4, I have the Toronto Ultra with a 22-12 map count. Number 3, New York Subliners 20-10, FAZE 20-9, and Optic 16-5. So I have the top 4 teams still as the top 4. LA Thieves also going 6-1. LAT have the easiest schedule this split. The only difficult team they play is Optic Texas, which is the team I have them losing to. And like I said, this is a bold prediction, but this is way too early prediction. It's meant to be fun. The odds of Optic, FaZe, New York Ultra, and Thieves all going 6-1. I mean, I'm also a Thieves fan, so if you want to say I'm being biased, that is totally okay. The odds of them all going 6-1, very, very slim, but I think it's a fun prediction, and if it happens, it'd be insane. But now to talk about the Major 3 bracket and who I have winning Major 3 as of right now, today on April 10th when I'm recording this. So in the winners bracket, I have Optic versus Breach. I have Optic winning that series. Ultra versus Thieves, Ultra winning that series. New York versus Legion, New York winning that series. And FaZe versus Ravens, FaZe winning that series. So the top 4 all advancing in their winners round 1 matchup. Then we drop down to losers, where I have the Boston Breach facing off against the LA Gorillas with the Gorillas winning. LA Thieves facing off against Seattle with LAT winning. Legion versus Heretics with Legion winning, and Ravens versus Surge with Ravens winning. So that does mean that Boston, Surge, Miami, and Seattle all go out top 12 at this major in my early prediction. Then for losers round 2, Battle of LA. This time I do have the LA Thieves taking it. That is definitely fan bias. I'm not even going to lie about that one. We're like 8-2 again, or we're like 2-8 against these guys all time. I don't know if we've ever beaten them on land, but I have a feeling we're going to break the curse at Major 3. And then for Legion versus Ravens, instead of it going the other way around, like with the last series, I have the Ravens taking this one once again, sending Legion out top 8. That making our top 6 Optic, Ultra, New York FaZe, LA Thieves, and Ravens. Then for winners round 2, I do have Optic taking down Toronto Ultra and FaZe taking down the New York Subliners. Setting up for an Optic FaZe winners finals, a match that I feel like are going to see a lot throughout this season. Then we drop back down to losers, NYSL taking on LA Thieves. I do have the New York Subliners taking this one, and Ultra taking on the Ravens. I also think the Ultra can take this. So the top 4 are your top 4 again. Might be kind of boring, but it's really hard to honestly make like a reasonable prediction against this. Anything is possible, and I would absolutely love to see an upset at some point during this major, but for my way too early predictions, I'm playing it a little bit safe. Some of my stuff is a little bold, but we're playing it a little safe for now. Then for our other losers matchup, New York versus Ultra, I'm going to have the Toronto Ultra taking down New York Subliners, so getting their revenge from Major 2 and getting themselves a top 3 spot. And then for the winners matchup, Optic versus FaZe, I'm giving it to Atlanta FaZe. They've beaten Optic a ton this season already, so we're going to give it to Atlanta FaZe, and that sets up for an Optic versus Ultra losers final, where I do have Optic taking down Toronto Ultra and setting up for a rematch of the grand finals. It's going to be Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Texas. And following along the trend, Optic got 3rd at Major 1. They got 2nd at Major 2, and I think they get it done. Major 3 champions, Optic Texas, taking down Atlanta FaZe in the grand finals. I don't know if this is a bold prediction or not. I think a lot of people are going to have Optic winning this. Obviously, they're getting better and better. A lot of the fandom is Optic fans. They haven't beaten FaZe yet, but I think they finally ice up and they get it done, and Optic are your Major 3 champs in my way too early predictions. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Who do you have as your early grand finals matchup? And then obviously, who do you have winning that grand finals matchup? For me, it's Optic FaZe once again, and it's going to be Optic winning it. But I would love to see some upsets along the way. I'd love to see a team break into the top 4, a different matchup, maybe see New York in the finals. That could be kind of interesting. But like I said, let me know your grand finals matchup for Major 3 in the comments. Sub for more CDL content like this. Let me know if you have the ideas, things you want to hear me talk about, or videos you want to see me make. I'm down to pretty much do whatever. I want this to be a channel that's interactive with you guys. So I appreciate all the support on all the recent content on all of my platforms. And with all that being said, hopefully I'll see you in the next video.